Between two great continents lies an ocean that plays by its own rules. It's a place of pirates, ancient vows, and treasures hidden just beneath the waves. This is the Ruby Sea. The Ruby Sea is one of Stormblood's most incredible and also one of the most dangerous zones in Othard. So, why is it so lawless? What secrets are its people hiding, both on the sun-scorched islands and in the silent depths below? Let's find out. Welcome, warriors of light, to the Ruby Sea. This massive body of water on Highland separates the mainland of Othard from the island nation of Hingashi. For as long as anyone can remember, these waters have never belonged to any single nation. They're the domain of pirates, traders, and ancient beast tribes who don't answer to any outside authority. This has turned the Ruby Sea into a tense, neutral zone, a crossroads of cultures, a haven for the desperate, and a critical background in the fight to free Doma. Its geography is just as divided as its people. On the surface, you'll find scattered islands that serve as strongholds for a powerful pirate coalition. But below, the seafloor hides tranquil villages, secluded peoples, and ancient palaces. To really get a handle on the Ruby Sea, we have to understand the powers that control it, and that story starts centuries ago. The Ruby Sea's lawless nature wasn't an accident. It was forged by centuries of conflict. As the nations of Hingashi and Doma grew more powerful, the sea between them became a refuge for anyone who didn't fit into their rigid societies. This gave rise to the region's two dominant powers, the Confederacy and the Kojin. Now, the Confederacy has a really fascinating backstory. Legend speaks of pirate crews swearing brotherhood at Sakazuki and eventually establishing their base on the sacred isle of Onokoro, long feared for its ancient tower. From there, they enforced their own law, the Ruby Tithe, a tax on any ship wanting safe passage. While nations like Doma and Hingashi hated it, no one could unseat the Confederacy, who guarded their independence fiercely. They aren't a people bound by nationality, but by an oath to the sea itself. And sharing these waters are the Kojin, a turtle-like beast tribe with a unique and deeply spiritual culture. The Kojin believe that gods or kami can dwell within treasured objects, especially beautiful, well-made relics. Their society revolves around finding and safeguarding these sacred items in underwater vaults. But the Kojin aren't all on the same page, unfortunately. They're split into two factions. The Blue Kojin, who live in the peaceful underwater village of Tamamizu, are traders who seek treasures through commerce and goodwill. And then you have the Red Kojin, a more aggressive mercenary group who believe in taking what they want by force. This disagreement fuels constant tension, something the Garlean Empire was quick to exploit. So you have this combination, a powerful pirate coalition and a divided beast tribe that established the Ruby Sea as a neutral and often dangerous place, free from any single power's control. Alright, with that history in mind, let's explore the Ruby Sea itself, starting with the sun-scorched islands on the surface. Your first brush with power here will likely be on Onokoro, the headquarters of the Confederacy. From their main port, they manage the Ruby Tithe and patrol the shipping lanes. The island is also home to Heaven on High, a mysterious and ancient tower predating the Confederacy, which they now treat as a proving ground for leadership. One thing to note, the Rasen Kaikyō is the surrounding strait, not a town. So you can expect rough and tumble harbors and anchorages around it under the Confederacy's eye. But the real wonder of the Ruby Sea is actually what lies beneath the waves. Thanks to a little help from the Kojin, we can dive down and explore some truly unique spots. The first and most important is Tamamizu, the village of the Blue Kojin, a peaceful haven of glowing corals and intricate structures where they trade, craft, and safeguard the treasures they believe house their gods. Go even deeper, and you'll find the hidden settlement of Sui-no-Sato, which is really pretty interesting. You see, ages ago, a clan of Au Ra, known as the Raen, fled the constant war of their homeland on the Azim steppe. Seeking total peace, they asked the Kojin for help. Together, they created a massive air bubble at the bottom of the sea and built a village inside of it. Just beautiful. The people of Sui-no-Sato are famously reclusive, avoiding contact with the surface for fear of being dragged into conflict. The village is ruled by the Ruby Princess from Shisui of the Violet Tides, a stunning and beautiful underwater palace that also serves as a dungeon for adventurers. This extreme isolation defines their culture, making them one of the most mysterious peoples in the Far East. This complex political stage is where a critical chapter of the Stormblood main story plays out. When you arrive with the Scions to help liberate Doma, you're stopped by the Confederacy and the reality of the Ruby Tithe. Since coin is complicated, you prove your worth by aiding them against the Red Kojin, and your path eventually leads to a clash with the primal Susano. This is also where meeting Soroban pays off. He's a cheerful blue Kojin merchant who grants the blessing that lets us travel underwater. With his help, we explore Tamamizu and witness the Kojin conflict boil over. The Red Kojin side with the Garlean viceroy, Yatsuyu, and their meddling triggers the summoning of Susano. Now, unlike many primals, Susano seeks a worthy contest more than carnage, making for a memorable trial. Our journey also brings us to the isolationist Raen of Sui-no-Sato. We meet their Ruby Princess and learn how deep their fear of the outside world runs. A fear so strong, they'd risk leaving Gosetsu in Garlean hands rather than expose their hidden home. And through your actions, Sui-no-Sato begins to open, realizing they may have a role to play beyond their walls. And really, the Ruby Sea mirrors Stormblood's larger story. It's about navigating tricky neutralities, challenging old traditions, and showing people who have hidden their fear that freedom is worth fighting for. The Ruby Sea is more than a body of water. It's a living region defined by contradictions. A lawless sea governed by a strict pirate code. Serene beauty just beneath the surface of conflict, and people who build walls, both real and imagined, now facing a war that refuses to be ignored. Stormblood uses this space to push us toward diplomacy and understanding, not just blades and spells. It blurs right and wrong, proving pirates can have honor, and that staying out of the fight isn't always the right answer. The Ruby Sea showcases the depth of Final Fantasy XIV's world and remains one of the most memorable zones. So I have to know, what are your favorite memories of the Ruby Sea? Did you enjoy dealing with the pirates, or was exploring the underwater world more your style? Tell me in the comments below. If you enjoyed this dive into the lore, like this video, ring that bell, and subscribe to Somonul Gaming for more Final Fantasy XIV explorations, hopefully every week. Until next time, may you ever walk in the light of the crystal.